100 of the best sci-fi movies. It's me, your boy Seed, the host of most of the stuff right here on the Podbreaking Network, man. Official film critic, that's what they tell me anyways. We're talking about my favorite 100 sci-fi movies, range from 100 to 1 with a podcast every day for the first 100 days of 2022. We're still in the first week of January. I don't know, math eludes me sometimes. Yesterday, we talked about our number 94 pick, Gattaca. I called it an official certified Seed Phones Down movie. If you've never checked out Gattaca, make sure you do so. It might have flown under your radar. It wasn't a huge hit, so, if you missed it, man, you can do yourself a favor. Go back and check out Gattaca and go back and check out that episode of me talking about it. Today, we're moving on. We're moving on to number 93 on our list. 1987 joint Robocop, directed by Paul Verhoeven. That mad lunatic. Part man, part machine, all cop. The future of law enforcement. In a violent, near-apocalyptic Detroit, evil corporation Omni Consumer Products wins a contract from the city government to privatize the police force. To test their crime-eradicating cyborgs, the company leads street cop Alex Murphy into an armed confrontation with crime lord Boddicker so that they can use his body to support their untested Robocop prototype. But when Robocop learns of the company's nefarious plans, he turns on his masters. 102 minutes of Paul Verhoeven just being Paul Verhoeven. Peter Weller as Alex Murphy, dead or alive. You're coming with me. Nancy Allen in there as well. Our boy Ronnie Cox, as well as Kurt Woodsmith, Miguel Ferrer. This is a quintessential 80s joint, man. This quintessential 80s joint is what RoboCop is. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Dystopian sci-fi is the best sci-fi to me. And RoboCop is a shining example of dystopian Detroit, which has since just become modern day Detroit. Except RoboCop didn't have Jared Goff only winning 2 games the entire season. That's the real dystopia. Come on, Detroit Lions. You're better than this, man. The scary part about these old school sci-fi movies made back in the 80s is the fact that here in 2022, they ring so damn true. It's like all the warning signs were laid out for us to ignore. And ignore we did, man. The world of RoboCop is on the brink of societal and financial collapse. Overwhelmed by crime and dwindling resources, this movie couldn't be any more prescient and on the nose here in 2022. I think it's interesting that RoboCop reverses, I think, how your standard revenge flick goes for the most part. I've always seen like the quest for vengeance, while sometimes noble in nature, like say Kill Bill, still has a protagonist whose humanity would get a little bit stripped away with each person that they killed. Like, how far are you willing to go for your vengeance before you're just like soulless shell of a person? Kind of looking at you, lone wolf and cub. Or you just end up being like the thing that you set out to destroy, which is still kind of Beatrix Kiddo and Kill Bill, like killing Vernita Green right in front of her daughter. But anyways, but here in RoboCop is kind of the opposite, I think. It's a machine-like man who regains his humanity by the end of the movie. And Verhoeven won more and more violence throughout the movie, and making it so outlandish that it became comical. And it's through that comedy that you can find the satire and the lampooning of all the craziness we still find ourselves in now. There's a lot of stuff going on in RoboCop. I am not as high on it as some Pop Ricans are. Shout out Pete Lentz. I know you're listening, man. This is more his type joint than it is my type joint, but it is still a dope movie, man. This is Verhoeven when he was at the height of his powers. Although he did come out with a movie in 2021 called Benedetta, which is also peak Verhoeven. It made my top 10 list, by the way. RoboCop you want to talk about one of the staples of science fiction movies. I think RoboCop probably is going to be in the discussion. As far as the themes and whatnot, it is incredibly sci-fi. It's hardcore sci-fi as well. As far as being a movie, I think it is a good movie, just not a great movie, which is why it is as low on the list as it is. It is number 93 on my list. If you think it's a little bit too low, you let me know. Let me know what you think about Robocop, man. And we'll be back in 24 of the hours with yet another one of these joints. So stay tuned. We'll be back, and I'll see you then.